Hey guys, welcome to Giannina and Damian's
Love Shack.
Love Shack.
Who wants to ask us a love question? You? Hi, how are you? Good. So we understand you have a love question? Oh, well, tell us. What is it?
How can you trust someone who already broken your trust in the past?
Well, that's really hard. I think it's communication and just really believing in that person. If their reasons actually are honest and they feel genuine, you just have to trust your gut. If they're worth your trust, they have to earn your trust every single day. And if they're willing to put in that work, you never know, maybe love has another chance. So you need some love advice?
Yes.
Here you go. Speak your truth.
So I've been in a relationship for the last 5 months with this guy, and he's not as affectionate as I would like him to be. So I was looking for advice on ways I can tell him to be more affectionate without hurting his feelings, I guess.
So I think this is pretty spot on with both of us.
Yeah.
So he is like the super detailed, really attentive person. So he'll text me and I'll have a really hard time texting back. But I think for me, it's understanding his love language, you know? So that's how he expresses his love. I express mine completely differently, but if you don't feel fulfilled at the end of the day, then, I mean, you never know. You never know if he'll catch on and be like, this is how she cares, and this is how I can show her that I care the same way. Because I've picked up on a lot of, you know, the things that he likes to do for me, and that's how he feels love. So it's just like expressing that. These are the things that are really important to me. This is my love language. Like, can you pick it up where I'm dropping it off? I don't know if you want to give her some more.
Yeah, I can give
Your
you really
advice.
good advice on this. So I'm you, okay? So I express my love very strongly. I am very tentative. I used to send her good morning texts and wouldn't hear back till 11 o'clock, you know? So, and those are things that are very important to me because if I'm in a relationship, I want to feel it reciprocated, right? And sometimes we don't feel that validation that we're looking at, not with just in our spouse, but within ourselves. And one thing I had to do is say, hey, how much do I love this person, right? And am I willing to not just make them want to change, but am I willing to meet them in the middle? So sometimes it's on us too. It's like, I wanted her to text me back all the time. Well, she's like, I'm busy, I'm working. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're not gonna text me back all the time, then I stopped texting her good morning. I said, well, when you want to talk to me, you text me. And it made it easier on me because I wasn't waiting for that validation. And she started to text me and she's like, hey, good morning, I'm up, where are you? Because the problem is, you and I do this thing where we give it all and we're not seeing it back. So I feel like when I've slowed down and I allowed them to pick up and put in the effort where I've always put it in, you start to see a little bit of them give more. Like, well, why are you not talking to me as much? Or what's going on? So let them start putting in the work and you put them in the position to put that in work and prove if it's worth it to them as much as it is you.
Well, hello, princess and auntie princess. You have some love advice or some love questions?
I have some love questions.
Yes? Let us hear it. Spill the tea.
What do you think is the best way to communicate with your partner?
Wow.
So, have you seen our show yet?
No.
Okay. So we're on a show called Love is Blind. A lot of this can be explained in there because we're really relating to other people, right? And I would say that we had a big communication problem, a huge communication problem.
Okay.
And is this somebody you see daily?
My husband.
Oh, okay. Sometimes we found it was harder for us to not communicate without arguing, right?
Yeah.
Or blowing into something bigger. So we've actually found out if we took the time and we talked in separate rooms, so like her in the kitchen or me in the living room, without yelling, and we don't have to read each other's facial expressions as much, and we say, hey, we really need to sit down and be open about this.
Yep.
Let's try step in a different room and talking it out because you're more peaceful, you're more in tune with yourself, you're more willing to open up without seeing them like what, like the disgusting or the the offset in the facial expressions.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and it makes communicating a little bit easier, but you should sometimes, she got me to be able to write stuff down. What bothers you about me? What doesn't bother you about me? What do you love about me? Because you got to keep positive in there too.
The one thing my husband keeps telling me is that I don't say enough positive things to him.
Right. Yeah, and I struggle with
that's
that.
her.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I struggle with it because it's hard for me to be vulnerable, right? And it's hard for me to, just open up that way and to give him so much love, and because maybe I'm afraid I'm gonna get hurt. So it's hard. I don't understand why we do it. But I learned that, just by walking in through the door and saying like, you look so handsome today, or like, I'm so happy I got to see you, or just like a big smile when I see him, just like that body language, that hug, that like.
It means the
true-
world to us, and
Yeah.
it's something small, because I'm the emotional one in our relationship. The good thing is that he loves you enough to talk about it, right? And that was my struggle. She does the same thing. Is I love with everything I have. I'm the big heart. I'm the big guy with the big heart, and I do everything for it. But I didn't always see it back. And all I wanted was a "Hey, I love you" on Valentine's Day, just a card saying I didn't need anything else. Just a 5-minute card that says, "Hey, I love you and I appreciate you." That's all. And sometimes to us, that's all we need, So.
But I believe in you. Like your love is strong. Like
Yeah,
I
it's so
see
strong.
it. It's just, being open and communicating is so hard, and it hurts because you're so vulnerable. But if you sit down and you say, "I love you so much that I want to be able to work this out or talk about this," I promise you, he will receive it. Hi, how are you?
guys?
Good,
So
how are
good.
you?
Do you have a love question?
Yes, I have one.
Spill the tea, sis.
Okay. How I can deal with a difficult person in a relationship?
You came to the right people.
You really did. I mean, you go first, because I think I was a little bit more difficult than he was.
Yeah, so I think one of our biggest problems, and you've seen our show, yeah?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
so
Huge fan.
you've been able to see the ups and downs that we had, throughout our relationship, and for me it was new. So in her culture, she's like, "Hey, like we yell, we're very like just outspoken," and
Passionate.
for me, I'm very soft spoken. I'm like, "Hey, like this is how we handle things," and it wasn't always easy, right? But if I wanted easy, I wouldn't have been with her. It's sometimes it's hard to find somebody that challenges you, but you have to find that you guys, I guess, can learn to communicate on the same page. And for me, I'd never been challenged like that in my life, and I was like, I do love this woman. Is it worth it? And it was like, it is worth it. So if you can find in yourself that this person is worth it, sit down and talk with them and say, "Hey, look, these are things that really bother me, and I want you to let me know things that bother you, but also list the positives in your relationship as well. Don't just go after the negatives, because that's easier to point out."
Yeah, that's true.
And I think, just expressing yourself, like, how is this person difficult?
Yeah.
How are they difficult?
I don't know, maybe he's like kind of like changing, like he wants to do something and then right in the second wants to do another thing. So, oh, sorry.
So he's spontaneous and last
Yeah.
minute. So that's me, and he's more of like that planner. So
Yeah, I kind of like him.
right.
Yeah.
So I tell him, I'm like, "You're welcome to come along with me. This is just how I like to do things last minute. It's just about being excited with that person." So whenever I tell him last minute, "Hey, like we're gonna do this," or like last minute our plans change, he gets really like
Yeah,
he doesn't like that.
I can relate with that.
Right.
Or we
So-
have plans, and then she cancels last minute to go do something else, and it's not like she means to. It's just like she has important things in her life, and I didn't understand them, so she explained to her. Say, "Hey, this is really important to me,"
Yeah.
and it's just communication,
Yeah,
really.
That's true.
And don't be afraid to express yourself, because you can't like bottle it all up, and
Aw.
you have to really make sure that your feelings are valid too.